Round 14 of the URC is done and dusted. What a week of rugby. The URC is really getting into the business end of the season, and this has been a much more competitive season all round from all the clubs. I mean, yes, you do see the once-off big score games, the big winning games, but overall, the bottom of the table, those teams have really been fighting for wins, and it's been a much more competitive tournament. Before we do get into it, guys, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow, and also, please feel free to leave comments down below. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I appreciate all of them. I appreciate all the support, but let's get right into it. So, a clean sweep for the South African teams, their second clean sweep weekend in a row. They were really on it this weekend. The Sharks had a bit of a close one with Cardiff. Stormers played a little bit better against Edinburgh, but still far from their best. The Bulls and the Lions right now are probably looking like the two better South African teams right now. If they can make their way into the top 8, maybe even the top 4, I think they've got a very good chance of making it to the final. The Lions have just become a different team this year. Some of the younger players coming through, some really good signings. Some of them more in the past inexperienced players now becoming those really experienced guys that have played Springboks level and at the highest level of international rugby, doing really well. I mean, this Lions team is playing some of the best rugby I've seen in a very long time. It almost reminds me of that time period where Johan Ackerman was the coach and they had Kwagga Smith, a young Franco Mostert, a young Malcolm Marx, Howard Mnisi, Lionel Cronea, all these phenomenal, Lionel Mapu, sorry, and all these phenomenal players. I think this Lions team is kind of reminding me of that team, and they're building some really good players that I think deserve a Springbok call-up this year. For me, that is one of the themes of the weekend, especially for the South African teams. A few players that have really cemented themselves into that conversation firmly for a Springbok call-up. I mean, some names I can think of the top of my head: Ruan Venter, Siba Mahashe from the Lions, from the Sharks, Pepsi Buthelezi. I mean, from the Bulls, we know exactly who it is. Ambrose Papid with a man of the match performance, but I will be doing a separate video on who I think Rassie Erasmus should call up this year. Because to be honest, I think there's a lot of guys that haven't been capped yet, or that were capped in the past that haven't played for the last few years under Rassie Erasmus that really deserve some caps. I mean, Cheswa Uester, what a phenomenal player. And I'm going to have quite a few videos coming out where Cheswa Uester will be involved. He is such a phenomenal talent. And I've seen this guy since high school. He runs 100 meters in 10.5 seconds at the age of 17 or 18 years old. He runs the same way on the field. He can beat defenders. He's always making dominant tackles. He's a very strong player. For me, he is the one guy that has to play for the Springboks this year. So looking at some of the Irish teams this week, Munster with a bit of a sad loss against the Bulls, a very close game. Near the end of the game, I thought they were going to come back and win it because it just seemed like all the momentum was on Munster's side. But the Bulls did well. The Bulls right now have a very good team. They are building something quite special there as well. So overall, Munster shouldn't be too upset with that. The weekend before the performance against the Sharks, they should be disappointed with that. But this week against the Bulls, they really pitched up. Yes, Jack Crowley missed a few kicks, but he still proved why he is the number 110 for Ireland right now. He really pitched up. Craig Casey as well had a great game. And a lot of those guys from Munster going to Loftus-Versfeld in the high veld, really putting up a big performance. The Adogbo brothers really stood out for me as well. Looking at some of the other games, I mean, Connacht with a very big win against Ospreys. Yes, the scoreline maybe looks a bit close, but this Ospreys team is no joke. Jack Morgan was back, and both of these teams are really fighting for a place in the top 8. The top 8 battle is becoming very fierce right now. And some of the Irish teams, Leinster got a good win, Ulster got a good win. Leinster had a bit of a shaky game, but still, getting a win, 36 points to 19, is still a very good win in regards to this tournament. The Welsh teams, all the Welsh sides lost this weekend, but Cardiff really did put up a good fight against the Sharks. I almost thought they were going to win it for a second there. Scarlets made life uncomfortable for Leinster, but obviously couldn't get the win. Ospreys with a close game against Connacht, and Dragons just playing against a very good Lions team right now. But still, I've seen a lot of improvement from all the Welsh sides throughout the tournament. I do hope Cardiff can make the playoffs, but I think it's going to be very tough. Right now, they are in the top 8, trying to push for a spot in the playoffs, but it's going to be extremely difficult with the likes of Connacht and the Sharks really pushing their way up. Even the Ospreys right now, and they still have to play each other, Cardiff and Ospreys. Both the Italian sides, unfortunately, getting losses this weekend. Zebra, of course, at the bottom of the table. They're still putting up some good fights this year, but it just wasn't meant to be for them against Ulster. Ulster, a really strong team right now, didn't even play their strongest team against Zebra and still got the win, which just shows the quality of this Ulster team. I think from what I saw, Werner Kok got man of the match, and it's just so good to see a guy like him really thriving in an environment like Ulster. I really enjoy watching Ulster play this year, so I do think that is probably my favourite club from the Irish teams right now, but I can be persuaded by some other teams as well. But right now, having Werner Kok there, he's doing phenomenal, and I enjoy seeing it. And Joarno Augustus as well. It's really good seeing those guys get given an opportunity and thriving within a team that looks like a very close-knit team that will be a threat to any team in the playoffs this year. Ulster at home in the playoffs could be a very difficult team to beat. And I think that's probably the same for all of these teams right now. They are pushing for a top 4 spot. They're pushing for a home quarterfinal, for a home semi-final opportunity, and probably a home final, but I think Glasgow, if they do make the final, have that secured right now, but they have to keep their form up. But right now it's looking very competitive at the top of the table. Benetton actually made life quite difficult for Glasgow. I did think they would. Obviously they fell off near the end of the game, but some of the players, Zuliani back, Kanone back, Garbisi back, some really good players, Marina at number 10. They looked good early on, but they just couldn't carry through the entire game. But I think that's going to change going forward when they get all the Italian players back. But looking at the table, Glasgow is in number 1 position with 55 points. In second, the Stormers with 51 points. To be honest, the Stormers are not playing good rugby right now. They just look like frantic rugby players playing all over the field, different styles of rugby. It's almost as if they're just struggling right now to find some sort of rhythm and form. So hopefully they can fix that, because they started off the year so well, but now they have to go play a Champions Cup quarterfinal, a round of 16 match in Toulon, which is going to be very difficult, which some of their players probably could learn from. And if they do click, could maybe win that game. They've won some really big games throughout the year as well at the start of the season, but right now they're not looking like the number 2 team in the tournament right now. They're really not. Then we have Ulster in third with 47 points, Leinster right behind them in fourth with 46 points, and Lions in fifth, very close behind with 43 points. It is getting very close in the top 6 and even the top 8, because Cardiff is right behind them with 41, Munster's also in 41 points, and the Bulls are in 8th with 40 points. Now outside of the top 8, Connacht at 9 with 39 points, Sharks with 33 points, but I do think the Sharks are going to challenge for that top 8 spot, and I think they probably are targeting a team like Cardiff, and I think Connacht as well. Connacht and the Sharks are going to be battling it out for a top 8 spot. They have some really tough games left. I do think they have to play each other once. Connacht have to tour to South Africa and play against those teams, which is going to be very difficult, but they do have a very good squad, so it's going to be very challenging. But I think for both the Sharks, Ospreys and Connacht, their playoff starts right now, and the same for Cardiff, because I do think Cardiff might be a bit of a sitting duck there. I think they are the outlier in the top 8, but overall the other teams are playing some phenomenal rugby right now. The Lions look like an impossible team to beat at home, and I think if they manage to get a home quarterfinal, could do some damage in that game. That's probably the one team I would not want to play away from home, especially being a team from Europe as well. But looking at all the teams, I think this playoff this year is going to be an absolutely phenomenal spectacle. I really think it's going to be a spectacle. Glasgow right now looks like their team to beat. Leinster with their best players is probably the actual team to beat. Ulster right now with some very good guys getting some international experience, and they're going to carry that over. Ulster at home is no joke. Playing the Stormers in Cape Town is never going to be easy. Playing the Lions in Johannesburg looks like the toughest thing you can do in South Africa right now. The Bulls are also finding their feet with some phenomenal players, some star players really standing out. Some of the Springboks are back. They've got a phenomenal forward pack with a lot of power. Munster almost beat the Bulls at home in Loftus, which is a big statement actually. If they manage to get that win, we'd be talking about Munster in a much higher light, but they are right now one of the teams to beat, and Munster historically is just a difficult team to beat, and once they make the playoffs, they can win any game. So I'm really excited for what the prospect of the playoffs can be. If I had to give my power rankings right now for what the 16 teams in the order, how I think they are right now, not based on points, just based on how good I think they're playing right now, it would probably be number 1 Glasgow, of course, number 2 Leinster, number 3 Ulster, number 4 Lions, number 5 Bulls, number 6 Munster, number 7 Stormers, number 8 Sharks, number 9 Connacht, number 10 probably Cardiff, number 11 Ospreys, number 12 Benetton. The number 13, I'd probably have to go for Edinburgh, because Edinburgh right now are, in my opinion, out of the playoff contention with the way they're playing. Number 14, Scarlets, then Dragons and Zebras. So most of the table at the bottom is kind of accurate, but for me, the power rankings right now, Glasgow is firmly the best, looking like the team to beat. Leinster in second and Ulster in third. Then the best South African team right now is probably between the Lions and the Bulls, and I do think if they had to play against each other right now, the Lions would probably get the better of them. The Lions just look like a threat from all over the field. But right now, the URC is getting so exciting. I cannot wait for the rest of the season. They do have a bit of a break right now. Some of these teams are going to be competing in the Champions Cup. I personally will be supporting all the URC teams in the Champions Cup. Of course, if a team plays against each other from the URC, I'm going to have to make a decision. But overall, I am backing a URC team to win the Champions Cup. I think they can get it done. The URC is honestly alive and thriving right now, looking better than it's ever looked. The bottom teams are looking competitive. The top 9, the top 10 teams are looking like they can all beat each other on any day. So right now the URC is looking healthy, looking in a good place, and I cannot wait for the playoffs. If you guys did enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.